This week it's time for another one of those dreaded product reviews. Well, let's get on with it. Hi everyone, welcome back to St Blazey Model World. I'm Roger. Before we go any further, I'd like to express my gratitude to the entire YouTube community for your words of kindness during the most difficult times that we've faced recently as a family. It really is much appreciated. Thank you so much. Right, moving on then, let's look at this week's subject. Now, if you're a regular to the channel, you'll be aware that a few weeks ago I announced that I was taking on the commission building of a 00 gauge end-to-end exhibition model railway layout. Various components have started to arrive, and that means soldering time for me, with droppers and joints and all sorts of other applications. My old soldering irons, well, they're long past their best, and of course they only work to a set temperature per iron. So it was time to invest, and it gives me a good opportunity to conduct a product review on our chosen item this time around. Well, first of all, the product comes in a box, but I'm afraid that my attitude to unboxing videos is bleh. So let's get it out of the box. Right, get rid of that. Right then, what have we got for our money? Well, we got the soldering station itself with the dial and the LED display. We've got the soldering iron attached to a cable. Here we've got the mains plug, suitable for use here in the UK. Of course, 3-pin system here in the UK. We got a springy thing, which probably is the holder for the soldering iron, a selection of tips, an amount of solder, a pad to wipe our soldering tip on, some other stuff in a bag, and some instructions. Can't be that hard, can it? Let's whack it all together, see how it looks. Well, here it is all set up, and it really doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it all out. The extra black bits in the bag were to hold our spool of solder here. And there's a nice little screw there that fits into the base station. We've got our pad ready here to wipe our soldering tip on, and the springy thing was indeed something that would hold our soldering iron. Let's just put it in there now, simply for completeness and demonstration. There we go. Nice, looking good. Didn't really need the instructions, but nice to have them, because often when you buy products like this, you don't get kind of the sort of guidance that you might need if you're new to not just soldering, but using any product. So let's introduce some power and see what happens next. So let's just run through the basics of the manual. These are the safety guidelines. They basically tell you that the soldering iron will get hot. Don't burn yourself. And then we have specifications. As I said, this is a UK purchase, UK product, so 230, 240 volts there's main supply, which is what we have here in the UK. And the temperature range. So especially that temperature range, 90 to 480 degrees Celsius. As I said, the main reason for purchasing this was to replace some of my previous soldering irons which have passed their best, and they only operate to one set temperature per soldering iron. And there's the breakdown of the product itself and the various parts. Whilst we're on specifications, this is the solder that comes with the kit, and that will do for the majority of soldering applications that the model maker is likely to undertake, but it won't serve every purpose. You do need to double check, and I'm not about to deliver a video on soldering techniques and methods. It's a different subject outside of the scope of this product review, but do just double check before you start soldering that the solder you have will do what you want it to do. The other accessory that we get is this range of tips here, 5 other tips that we can put into our soldering iron. I'll show you how these change over shortly. I'll just do a couple as an example. But as with all soldering irons, before first use, you do need to make sure that you tin the end of these soldering iron tips. And by tinning, we mean you take a bit of solder, melt it onto the tip, let it settle. And that will ensure that you get a good solder joint once you do start using the soldering iron itself. And just while we're covering first use, this pad here that you wipe the tip on, that's the cleaning part of the tip there of the equipment there. You push that in once you finish soldering, and as you pull it out, the coils in there, they'll just grab the majority of solder, but just wipe the tip on the residue pad as well. But that pad at the moment is bone dry because this item is brand new. I soak those in water for a good 10 minutes or so, and then just wring them out, and that makes sure that they work properly. If you put your soldering iron tip on that when it's dry, it'll just start melting away, and you can see that there's a little plastic tray in there, and of course any residue water there, that'll be collected, and you can dry it out with a tissue. So there's a couple of things there to remember before first use. Now, of course, when it comes to changing the tips, do remember that you do need to let the soldering iron cool down completely before you start changing the tip. I know it sounds obvious, but we all make mistakes. When it comes to changing the tip on this iron, it's quite easy. There's a little knurled some nut here. Just unscrew that, and that will release. Take that all the way out, get rid of that, get rid of that. The heat shield comes away, and there we have the tip. And you can see the colour changing on this tip. We'll just show that in comparison with the ones we haven't used yet. And that colouring is due to the heat that's been put through that tip during the demonstration so far. Changing it just slides off, just drops off actually. It's just really easy, this. And you take another tip. Let's take this one here, and it slides over the heating element there. It'll only go down so far, and then you need to replace the heat shield. That just slides over. That will go all the way down. The tip is exposed, but don't forget to reapply your locking collar, because otherwise, when you took the soldering iron the right way up, that tip's going to simply fall off. So you just do that back up, and that's all there is to it. It's real easy to do. You'll find that on more traditional soldering irons, you have a tiny grub screw somewhere in the shaft here, and that's how you do it on those. But nice and easy. But as I said, remember, make sure that the tip is cold before you start taking it out of that soldering iron. Otherwise, I'm afraid you're going to know all about it. Let's just cover a couple of other quick things before we get to first use. Okay, I suppose we have to cover a couple of obvious things. Firstly, remove this plastic guard from the tip of the soldering iron. Remember that when we do introduce power, it's going to get hot. We don't want that welded onto it. Put that back into the holder, and remember to remove this cover from the pins of the plug. So you should have these 3 things removed from all the equipment before you apply any power. Tip to the soldering iron, the cable tie that holds the mains cable together, and the manufacturer's cover from the mains plug. If you haven't got all of those 3 things ready and separate, then you miss something. Do not apply power. So we're ready to go now. We've got it plugged into our mains power supply, and on the front of the soldering station itself, just under here, a very simple on-off switch. Let's turn it on, see what we get. And our LED display has come to life. 92 or 90 degrees roughly it's reading at the moment. May not be fully apparent on the camera because of the lights on the film, but that's what it's showing, and we can see that it's set in the minimum position. Let's crank it up a bit, get some temperature into our soldering iron. Let's set it at 400 or thereabouts. There we go. Just let it settle down. Up it goes. Sort of standard for temperature for using this equipment is 400. So let's just see how long it takes. It's racing up. Won't be long before we get there, that's for sure. And there we have it, 401, near enough. Near enough for me. Just above that temperature display is a little switch, and you can see it's got a padlock symbol in an open and a locked symbol position. So let's just slide that across, and hopefully now that's going to lock that at 401 degrees. If we briefly move to the instructions, let's have a look here now. We get a brief guide of the main parts of the soldering station, and you can see that item 1, close in on it there, the padlock. It's all looking good, isn't it? Not bad. Well, I've left our soldering iron alone and a few minutes have passed, and you can see that it's varying on the display now between 200 degrees and SLP. SLP, sleep. It's sent itself to sleep. Absolutely brilliant. Economical, as well as being a useful tool for the scale modeler. What more can we ask for? And it's certainly an improvement on the old soldering irons that I have that operate to an individual and specific temperature. Being able to vary the amount of heat you put through a soldering iron really does make a difference. Fabulous bit of kit. So let's move on to the costings. Well, we saw it at the start with the Amazon page. £30, just under £30 UK sterling money gets you all this stuff. And I have to say, I'm really well impressed. It really is actually a nice little piece of equipment. Hopefully, once I get to start to use it on my model engineering adventures, well, we'll see how it goes. But I'm looking forward to it greatly. I really do think it's a big step forward from the old system of having one soldering iron operating to one set temperature. If you do want to buy one of these, then please could you do it through the Amazon storefront of Chadwick Model Railway. My good friend Charlie Bishop there at Chadwick has provided the inspiration for this video, and I think it's only right that if you're going to buy one, you help him along the way with his channel as well. That's it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed it, and there'll be a sort of part 2 to this video once we start using this equipment and see how it works in the real world. But I really have nothing to fear at this stage. I've been in the model making game for a very, very long time, and I know a good one when I see a good one. That's it for this one. Take care, stay safe. Bye for now from St Blazey Model World.